Welcome to the Letting Go live stream. This is our Course in Miracles series. Today we're on lesson 183. I call upon God's name and on my own. This lesson says, turn to the name of God for your release, and it is given you. No prayer, but this is necessary, for it holds them all within it. Words are insignificant and all requests unneeded when God's Son calls on his Father's name. His Father's thoughts become his own. He makes his claim to all his Father gave, is giving still, and will forever give. He calls on him to let all things he thought he made be nameless now, and in their place the holy name of God becomes his judgment of their worthlessness. Their worthlessness. Oh, all this stuff, it matters not. What a relief. Wow. Okay. So all I do is turn to the name of God and I'm released. What did we say the other day? By grace I live. By grace I am released. By grace I live. By grace I release. Why are we attempting to do things as an ego? When we have the inheritance, the divine provision of the Lord, our Father, in all things. He stands by and watches us play and pretend that we're something other than that, but he can't even see what we're playing with because it is not real. It is not real. The child imagines and plays, and the Father loves him unconditionally. Just seeing that innocent child, no matter what that child is pretending to be here in the world. Today we call upon God's name, and in doing so, we call upon our own name, the truth of what we are. Our Father has given us his name, and thus we are identified with him. We share in him. His name reminds us of who we really are. The power of simply calling upon God's name and on my own in all things, in all situations. We watch the illusions melt away. The temptations have no call, for we have a call of something greater, a greater joy, a supreme joy. And we are released from all this negativity and all these feelings which we've been bound to, worshiping these things that are not even real. They will disappear as we repeat his name, as we call upon his name. God, our Father, God, Lord of the universe, God, my Father, God, your Father, God. I call upon God's name and on my own. Let me remember who my Father is and what that entails. That's all we do today. God. I've been liking this one. God is. Mind goes running off over all kinds of stuff. God is. Could we keep it simple? Simplicity is one of the paramount principles of truth. The simpler it is, the more powerful it is, and the more true it is. Because there are degrees of truth. You know, this world, when we look at the world and we live in the world, there's degrees of truth in the world. Yet nothing as powerful or as true as God is. God is. So let's do some letting go. Let's turn to the name of God and be released. Be released. I call upon God's name and on my own. My Father has given me his holy name. And therefore God's name is holy, but no holier than mine. To call upon his name is but to call upon my own. Can you notice, is there any sense that you are not a direct descendant of God? And could you just call upon his name and surrender? Could you surrender any feeling that you are not at one with Him? And any number of things could come up. The mind will make up all kinds of stuff, and that will just flag a feeling. Could you bring that feeling to His name? Nothing the ego has to do. Could you turn to the name of God for your release? Could you just give this feeling to Him? Turn it over to Him. Allow that feeling to be released by the grace which you live in. Any unworthiness, any smallness, any guilt, any fear, any desire, it is not in His name. Could you allow Him to release you? Just bring this feeling to Him. Bring it to light and watch it dissolve as the illusion it is. It's okay. It's okay to feel this and to turn it over to Him. Could you simply feel and surrender? Turn it over to God. Would you surrender? Turn it over to God, to His name, holy and no holier than yours. When could you surrender to God for your release? Just infinite power. What is that power? Infinite love. What is that love? Infinite light. What is that light? The salvation of the world. What is salvation of the world? Your function. How did you get that job? His name. Given you. Could you call upon His name and on your own? God's name cannot be heard without response. Could you call upon His God's name and on your own? Can you notice as soon as you call upon His name, you are surrounded by infinite angels which sing to you, spread their wings to keep you safe, and shelter you from every worldly thought that would intrude upon your holiness? Then just notice. There's an instant response. Is there any denying it, refusing it, doubting it? This infinite love that surrounds you when you merely call upon His name, you might notice this feeling very powerfully coming to you now. And notice if there's any resisting it, any fear of it, any denying it. It's okay. Could you turn it over to His name? Could you just surrender any feeling that's coming up that would imagine you're not surrounded by angels loving you when you call upon His name? Could you allow this feeling up and turn it over to Him? Surrender it. There's nothing to fear in this feeling. This feeling is no more once you turn it over to Him. Could you allow the surrender to His name, its complete, whole, total power to release you? The ego is not interested in your release. Are you trying to do your releasing, your letting go from the ego? Could you give it to His name? I call upon God's name for my release. Could you turn this feeling over to Him for your release? You can try and do it as an ego. That's okay. Just could you turn it over? Why not give it a try? Why not just see what's here for you? The angels that will support you when you turn to your name, your true name, what you really are. and be tempted by the world no more? Could you surrender this feeling to Him? Turn it over to God's name and your own. It's a mere choice and a very happy choice indeed if you should decide to make it. Will you turn this feeling over to Him? Surrender it and be released. Repeat the name of God. I call upon God's name and on my own. Repeat the name of God, and it will replace all the little names you've given. Repeat the name of God, your own name, and be released. Look at all the little names of things you've given. All these things you've said were God and valued. All these things of the world. Could you notice what happens to them when you repeat the name of God? Could you let go of the gods you worshiped before? Could you allow yourself to turn all of this idolization of the world over to Him, to the name of God and your own? It's just a choice. And turning to His name for your release. You don't have to do anything. The idols of the world come to your mind, the feelings behind those. Could you just allow them to be turned over, surrendered to His name, the name of God? It's just a choice. Could you surrender the gods you made of the world? Could you turn the world over to His name? God is. And be released by grace. Repeat the name of God and you call upon yourself with a capital S. I call upon God's name and on my own. I repeat His name and call upon myself, whose name is His. As I repeat His name and my own, all the tiny nameless things on earth slip into the right perspective. Those who call upon the name of God cannot mistake the nameless for the name, nor sin for grace, nor bodies for the Holy Son of God. Will you join in naming Him, calling upon Him? Notice the mind's temptation to go back into the world. This power is dissolving it, but is there any still clinging? Still clinging to something small and powerless and worthless? And just notice that, and could you turn it over to His name, repeat His name, the name of God, your name? Could you surrender this clinging to the world and all its little names for the one name which puts them all in the right perspective? Could you surrender to His name? Repeat His name. God is, I am. Could you surrender and be released by the grace that is? Repeating His name, the name of God, I call upon God's name and on my own, and in this I am released from all the little names I put on things in the world, all these thoughts and feelings. I call upon God's name and on my own. There is no other word needed today. Watch as you do this, as you allow it. The mind races in thoughts, there's feelings, the binds to the world, the binds on the heart and the love that you are. Could you just have one thought today, one word, God's name? And could you turn yourself free by turning over to your true name, God's name? God is, I am. Could you turn yourself loose? Could you call upon his name and surrender all the worldly thoughts, all these other little names, symbols, the feeling that would have these thoughts seem like such a big deal? Could you just bring it to his name and be released? God is. His name which he put upon you, for you are not separate from him. He's given you his name. Could you just turn over all the other little names today as they come up? Could you just be released by replacing all those words with one, God? And allow him to take care of it. Allow you to take care of it. Allow one to take care of it. Could you practice but this today, repeating God's name, God's name, God's name, God's name, and my own name, and my own name, and my own name, and my own name, God's name, letting it replace all else, the illusion of the world. This invitation will never be refused when you call upon God's name and on your own. God will come and answer it himself. Think not he hears the little prayers of those who call on him with names of idols cherished by the world. Just call upon his name. Let your idols be dissolved. Give him the invitation which he will never refuse. My Lord, my God, my name, God's name. That is all you're asked to do in this lesson today. This very lesson will take you all the way. You need no others. This simple truth of what you are, of what he is, will release you from all pain and suffering. And as you are released, you give it to the world. You will heal and bring joy and light wherever you go. Remember his name. Repeat his name. This is the only lesson you need. If you get distracted by the idols, it's okay. Just repeat his name. And his angels will surround you, cover you with their wings, and bear you up in their hands, lest you come to harm, believing in the world that is not. Call upon God's name and upon your own, and be carried in heaven. Well done releasing. Thanks for being here.